Hey, welcome to the first episode of Paranoid Disposition. I'm Beth.
And I'm Alex. We're here to discuss dumb conspiracy theories and their origins. You know, conspiracy theories have been around since the beginning of human civilization. But ever since the rise of the internet, they've run pretty rampant.
A lot of people like to discuss 9/11 and JFK theories, but we prefer the more ludicrous conspiracies.
So join us as we take a journey through the unhinged ramblings of the outspoken minority.
This is Paranoid Disposition.
So yeah, welcome to our very first podcast. Why are you laughing? Are you going to say hi to whoever, the one person that's listening right now?
Hello, our lovely listeners. We love you already. So what are we here to discuss?
Well, let's take a trip back to the 90s.
Ooh, the 90s. I love the 90s.
The year was 1996. And it was Christmas Day.
What could this be about?
Do you remember any headlines from then?
Well, I was a little young, but it has made a resurgence lately, so many of our listeners might know what we're talking about.
And if you don't, we are talking about the case of Jonbenet Ramsey, the 6-year-old beauty queen that was found murdered in her basement.
Who did it? Still unsolved. Well, according to the police, unsolved.
I remember it was yesterday. This girl I went to school with, her uncle, I believe, was actually a housekeeper for them.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Did you know who her mom was, though?
Oh, Miss West Virginia.
Yeah, 1977.
Yeah, I know. That's so cool. So wait, so is this the housekeeper that knew about possible incest?
Actually, I just remember, it was the year after the murder. We were in computer class, and she was talking about it. So that's really the only memory I have.
So you
of
don't really have a good story.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a story. It's just a little tidbit that
that's fine.
Might be or might not be true.
Okay. Well, you might have to rekindle a friendship so I can get some information.
But it's stuck with me for the past 20 years.
Okay. Yeah. I don't actually remember it happening because I was too little. I mean, it happened in 96, so I was 4.
Yeah.
But I've always loved murder. So I've loved learning about it, and especially recently.
It?
We don't talk about that, Alex. We don't talk about that. So this year is the 20-year anniversary, and a lot of people are talking about it. Recently, Jonbenet's brother gave his first interview, public interview.
Can we talk about how weird he seemed? I mean, I understand.
Real weird.
I understand. Probably a lot of anxiety. He's been out of the public eye for 20 years, but a little fishy.
Yeah, he was definitely weird. He was smiling a lot. He smiled the whole time, which I do kind of think maybe he has some social issues. I think that might be a big part of it.
I mean, I feel like you would if you go on.
Yeah, I read that he didn't leave his house until he went to college. And even now he works from home. I don't think he has a lot of. He kind of hides. He's a millennial. True, but he's worse than most millennials. He refuses to talk to people. So I don't know. I don't want to be hard on him because I understand social anxiety.
Don't we all?
But at the same time, no one's ever accused me of murdering a sibling. So maybe we shouldn't cut him too much slack.
What about your missing sister?
Mm-hmm. We don't talk about Sarah.
If only you all could see the face that I just made.
Okay, so let's talk about the case itself.
The case itself.
So the year was 1996.
The year was 1996.
It was Christmas. Okay, well, it was...
Well, they're not sure... Well,
it was Christmas morning that it happened. Well, that they...
Well, no, it could have been between the 25th and the 26th.
I thought that this...
From what I've read. They found her the morning of the 26th.
Oh, okay, I messed it up. Oh, yeah, and part of that, there's actually drama with that. Because, okay, so... okay, we should explain a little bit more. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So
Jumping the gun a little bit.
the morning of the 26th at like 5 a.m., the mother is coming down the stairs and she finds a note.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, the infamous note. And she calls the police and she says that she found this note, that her daughter is being held for ransom. And
how much was it for, the ransom?
107.
118,000.
Oh, so close.
But it was,
so close.
But it was the amount of her
yes,
dad's...
it was the exact amount as the father's Christmas bonus. 117,000. And these people were millionaires. Like, they were very rich. They had a private plane. So
I did not know that part.
Yeah, they were like a hella rich. So only $117,000 is not that much.
No.
When you're holding a child for ransom. And then also, so the note
Give me the damn plane.
Right? So the note itself is like 3 pages long. It's the longest ransom note in history.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's bizarre. And it's so, like, rambling, and they just go beyond what is necessary in the note.
Which is already a little fishy.
Yeah, which is fishy. Because, like, most ransom notes, they try and keep it short because they don't want to, like they don't want to give away more than they need to. And they also just want to get the point across. Like, give us money or we'll kill this person.
Because the more you put out, like, the better chance that they're going to catch you.
Exactly. Yeah, more details. Exactly. So she finds the ransom note and she calls the police, and part of, like, the weirdness is at the end of the ransom note, it says, if you call the police, we'll kill your daughter. It's very clear. And she calls the police anyways. So some people think, like, maybe she didn't finish the note because it was so long before she called. But I don't know. Like, have you read the note?
No, I've only seen, like, an image of the first page.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And eventually they did, like, analysis of the note, and it was a really close match to the mother's handwriting.
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
So it's... Yeah, and the actual paper is from a notepad they found in the kitchen, and they found the pen in the kitchen. They also found a crumpled up first version of the note. So, like, they started the note and were like, "Oh, this isn't what we want."
Like,
and
inside the kitchen?
Yes, in the house. Yeah. So so I'm just going to read a really short excerpt of the note because it's ridiculous. Okay, this is how it starts. Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully, ! We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed. If you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. Like, that's just an excerpt, and it's weird. Like, a small foreign faction.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard people talk about this note, and if you're trying to intimidate someone, why would you call yourself a small foreign faction? Like, wouldn't you want to seem
like we're the
like
biggest
big?
regime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a small foreign faction. That's not very intimidating. And so the deal with the father's business is like, he has to do with, like, arms sales or something like that. Yeah. It has to do with the military.
Well, I thought that he was from what I read, he did graphic work. He worked for hold on.
Double check.
I mean, he was in the military. He was a pilot in World War II. Don't make fun of my speech.
Sorry.
And then he was also in the Navy. Oh no, he was in the Navy. That's just ignore me, everybody.
But he owns a business.
Yeah, he formed Advanced Product Group. It was one of 3 companies that merged to become Access Graphics.
Okay, so while you're looking that up, another weird thing about the ransom note is that it actually quoted some movies. the ransom note.
I did hear about
is quotes from movies. It's so In Cold Blood from 1967 and Dirty Harry from 1971. Poltergeist. There's like a lot of the lines were from movies, so it doesn't the phrases are really similar. So it seems like they were just trying to think like, okay, like what sounds good in a ransom note. It doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a real ransom note.
Like, let's just copy and paste some really intimidating lines.
Yeah, it's just
blockbusters.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a global aerospace defense security and advanced technologies company.
So I think they made stuff for the government. For the military.
This actually links into another story we're going to talk about eventually in the podcast. Because everything is connected. All right, well, there have been a bunch of conspiracy theories around her death, which I want to read off a few. And there's, one of the conspiracies is that an intruder killed Jonbenet, which...
I mean, that's what the parents say.
Yeah.
That's the parents.
And then another one is she was murdered by her family. Now, I don't know about you, but personally, I believe that her 9-year-old brother accidentally killed her.
That's what a lot of people believe. And there was actually just because it was the 20-year anniversary, there were just a couple specials about it. And one of the specials did accuse the brother, Burke Ramsey. And I actually read that he's suing the network now.
Really?
Yeah, because they said it was him. And, I mean, I think it was either the mother, I think it was either the parents or the son, but I think the son did it by accident.
Yeah, well, it could be that, or maybe he felt a little jealous of her, because she was a beauty queen.
She was a beauty queen. He was the older sibling who maybe was being ignored.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's a theory. And they actually talked about on that special, I think it was the CBS special, they talked about how Burke had actually hit his sister before in the head with a golf club.
I mean, don't all siblings do that though?
Siblings get rough.
My siblings have beat the shit out of
each
each other.
I mean, my older brother used to beat me and my sister up all the time. That was a regular thing. I actually started kicking him in the balls, and my father pulled me aside and said, "Beth, you can't hit boys there." And I was like, "But what am I supposed to do? That was my trump card. That was the one thing I could do that I would finally, it would make up for the fact that I was smaller than him."
I actually did that with my brother once. I did it jokingly.
I did not do it jokingly.
I actually, because he was picking on me, and I kicked him right in the balls. I didn't mean to, and then my reflex was to punch. So he went to grab his jug, and I punched him right in the face.
So for any children listening, punch your brother in the balls if he's beating you up. Just good advice.
What if your older sister's
P.S.
beating you up?
Don't have any children listening to this.
We're already popular enough.
Okay, so yeah, I think that either the brother, so the one in the CBS show, the theory was that they sat down, were eating pineapple, and because they found pineapple in Jonbenet's stomach that hadn't been fully digested, so she had eaten it in the last couple hours. And the mother says that she did not give her pineapple. And that's kind of one of the big things that bugs people is, she claims they got home from a Christmas party and she put Jonbenet in bed. She went to bed and then she wakes up and finds the note. But according to evidence, it shows that Jonbenet was up at some point during the night eating pineapple. Another thing is that the mother... When the police got there after she called, she was still wearing the clothing that she wore to the Christmas party, which doesn't make sense if she went to bed. It's like she never went to bed. And it's like something happened that made her never go to bed. So the CBS theory is that her and Burke sit down. He's eating pineapple, and she goes to take some because, like, they did find some dishes, and it has Burke's DNA on it and not Jonbenet's. So the theory is Burke's sitting there eating it, and Jonbenet, like, grabs it with her fingers, you know, because kids do that.
I heard the same one.
Yeah, and that would piss Burke off, and then he loses it.
And he took a flashlight
And
hit
exactly,
her right over the head.
a flashlight hit her over the head, and then.
But that doesn't. Then why was she strangled? Then?
Okay, well, that goes into so if Burke did it, he hits her over the head, and then she was also strangled. She was garroted, which is when you have like a piece of like string or whatever twine with like two handles on the end.
Yeah,
like you
because,
take sticks and you tie them.
Her mom's broken paintbrush.
Yeah, it was a paintbrush. Exactly, it was a broken paintbrush. So some people debate whether Burke was like old enough to think to do that, because that's kind of like a weird way. So some people think that the parents came down, they hear like a scream or something, and he had hit her over the head.
I did read something that a neighbor heard a scream.
Yes, I've heard that too. So the theory is that maybe the parents, one of the parents or both of them, come down, they find their son and their daughter is, you know, gravely injured. She's unconscious from being hit in the head. And they think either like she's gonna die or we don't know whether they thought she was dead or not, because she was definitely unconscious.
Yeah.
And
her skull's fractured from that.
She was fractured, and that head injury would have killed her if they had just left her. But the theory is like maybe they wanted to finish her off, or they wanted to make it look like it was planned.
Yeah.
Like, because like if someone breaks into your house and like wants to kill you, I don't know.
I just don't understand why. Like, just take her to the hospital. Why?
Exactly.
Like, can you really? Are you really gonna strangle your own child?
So maybe they thought, well, you know, if we call 911, like Jonbenet is not going to make it anyways, which probably isn't true. But you know, they thought that. And, you know, Burke will get taken away. Like, what will happen to our son? So the theory is
then you're left with
they're like
0 children.
They're like, we can cover this up and keep one of our kids, or, you know, if we're open about it, then we'll lose both of them. Though, if they had taken her to the hospital, she probably would have lived. So they ended up strangling her.
But when you panic like that, you don't really think rationally.
No, exactly. But I also don't think that makes it okay to cover up murder.
Well, it could have been somebody else too.
That's true, though. Yeah.
Well, here is another theory.
Okay.
A Santa Claus impersonator killed Jonbenet.
Oh, that makes sense. Totally.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, like that's a common thing I worry about, is that, you know, Santa Claus is gonna come and kill me. Okay, continue. Sorry.
But all right. So I'm gonna read this little article that I found.
Okay.
Well, 2 nights before Jonbenet was murdered, Bill McReynolds played Santa Claus in the Ramseys' home. According to CNN, on that same night, McReynolds gave Jonbenet a card that read, "You will receive a special gift after Christmas."
Ew. Oh, what kind of special gift?
On top of that, McReynolds' own daughter was abducted exactly 22 years to the day before Jonbenet was found dead.
Okay, that is weird.
Even more troubling, McReynolds' wife, Janet, actually wrote a play about a girl who was molested in her basement before being murdered, which is precisely what investigators believed happened to Jonbenet. But it was all thrown out because his DNA didn't match.
Yeah. Okay, well, the DNA. So they did find some DNA in her underwear, but there has been testing that suggests that possibly that DNA was just from the factory that her underwear was made, because it was new underwear.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been washed, it may have just been the person who was handling the underwear in a factory, because it's actually the DNA that ended up exonerating the family. That's what made them. That's what got them off. Is like, oh well, their DNA doesn't match, so it can't be them. But they've done tests on like underwear from like similar factories that prove that there can be DNA in underwear that is brand new. Like, if you haven't washed it yet, I mean, it's so easy to get your DNA on stuff, especially if you're handling it. You know, they could have, like, not have been wearing a mask. They could have, like, breathed on it. I mean, you never know.
That's why I always wear a hazmat suit whenever I do anything illegal.
Right?
Perfect.
Good
crime.
advice. Good advice. So I just want to say the whole DNA thing, I don't think it had to be the person's DNA for it to have been the killer. Just, you know, throwing that out there. Okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Oh, you're good. That was actually all of that. But here's... Okay, I guess there are two more conspiracies, but the one I'm about to say, leads into our main topic, which is why we're all here today for. Mm-hmm. So, some people believe that Jonbenet's death was part of a satanic ritual.
Makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, so supposedly, this happened in Boulder County, Colorado, and there is a bunch of Masonic and satanic activity in that area, such as the Dark Knight shootings and Columbine.
Okay.
Because it's all linked.
It's all linked. Everything's linked.
Everything's linked. the number 33.
Oh, yeah. I came across that a lot in my research. I'm not surprised that you mentioned the number 33. It's a big deal. It's everywhere. Okay, so do you want to go to the...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, linking to the whole entire ritual and the sacrifice, the Illuminati's behind it. And the whole... How do I want to word this? So, what they did was that they killed Jonbenet. You can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes for that.
He is, trust me.
But they killed Jonbenet so it could give birth to...
Katy Perry.
Motherfucking Katy Perry.
Mm-hmm. So, yes. So, oh my goodness. So...
This is so ridiculous.
Yeah, so the belief is that there are a couple of different, like... I don't want to say theories, but, like, different explanations. That, like...
Girl, I got a whole entire list.
Yeah. So, Katy Perry is Jonbenet. Jonbenet grew up to be Katy Perry.
Clearly, even though there is a 6-year age gap between the two, with Katy Perry...
I have an explanation for that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, Katy Perry was born in 1984, and Jonbenet, 1990. Just not even a month after me, actually.
Katy Perry is older than Jonbenet.
That's what I just said. What, did that make sense?
You mixed up.
Well, I guess the viewers will know.
Viewers?
Okay, listeners.
Okay, so...
I usually work in the film medium. This is weird for me.
Okay. So people think that Jonbenet grew up to be Katy Perry. Now, like, why is interesting? I mean, people think... Like, one explanation is that the whole Jonbenet thing was, like, a satanic ritual in order to give birth to Katy Perry, the pop star. Like, she had to sacrifice Jonbenet to transform into Katy Perry.
I mean, and she left some clues, too.
Tell me about it.
In that absolutely beautiful song, I'm actually sadly not even kidding, Wide Awake, there is a line.
Oh my god.
I am born again out of the Lion's Den. And in the music video, during that line, I am born again, there is a butterfly, which symbolizes transformation. From her transformation from Jonbenet into Katy Perry.
Okay, so there is the sacrifice Jonbenet Ramsey identity. Another explanation is that this event was made up by Satanists to mock religion, which a lot of people think that a lot of things that happen are all Satanists mocking religion. And that kind of ties into the number 33, because 33 is the age of Christ when he was crucified. That's how old he was. So that's kind of how, at least from my research, that's how the number 33 ties in. And the YouTube video I was watching about this, at first he's talking about Katy Perry, and then we get into the number 33, and things just went fucking wild. He went crazy.
Like where her gravestone is, I believe
So, yes. So, Jonbenet was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and she died in Boulder because that's where her family was living, but she was buried there.
Yeah, she was buried right outside Atlanta, I believe.
Yeah, she was buried in Marietta, Georgia, which actually I've been, and fuck, I wish I had known to go visit her grave. Okay, anyways. And that is on the 33rd parallel. Ooh, which is the same number as Christ's age. Because that makes sense. So, yeah, so there are a lot of connections to 33 with just like wild shit that has happened. Like Roswell is also on the 33rd parallel. So really, it's just Satanists poking fun at them good-hearted Christians.
Them good-hearted Christians. Woo-hoo! Well, do you know about the number 13?
I know that...
Supposedly it is a satanic number.
But doesn't that tie into 33? I thought, like...
I mean, everything's
he
connected.
The guy that, like, the video I was watching, he was making a lot of connections between 13 and 33. But tell me about 13.
Alright, so, during Super Bowl 49, Katy Perry performed her song Dark Horse, and she was dressed as a phoenix, which, we all know, the
yeah, like
phoenix
rebirth.
works.
Yeah,
exactly. But, Super Bowl 49, if you add 4 plus 9, that equals 13.
Yes.
Oh
okay.
My God.
It's blowing my fucking mind.
These just little breadcrumbs she's leaving for us.
Yeah. And if you look at the World Trade Center, when they, like, rebuilt, it has a trident, and a trident put sideways is a 3.
Oh my God.
And there are 2 of them, so it's 33.
Actually, I'm glad you brought up September 11th, because supposedly on September 11th, 1997, the family actually opened up to the media about what happened.
Did they?
It's all connected.
It really is. Okay, so I do want to talk about why people think, like some of the connections people make. So people make a big deal about Jonbenet and Katy Perry's moles. Because if you line up... What?
They're in the same spot.
They're in the same spot, kind of. So if you line up pictures...
But as you age, your skin, like, moves a little bit.
Oh, totally. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
Totally normal.
Oh, duh.
Jonbenet's Katy Perry.
Yeah. So a lot of pictures, if you line them up, they both have moles on their neck. Katy Perry, it kind of matches, but the explanation for why it doesn't always match is makeup. They're like, oh, she just has more makeup on. That's why she doesn't have a mole. And recently on the cover of People magazine, they put like a picture of Jonbenet. It was that like one that makes her really look very angelic, where she has like the, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. She looks like an angel.
Oh,
she has the big blonde hair and has like a wreath in her hair. It's a really adorable picture. And I'm glad it's one of the less sexual ones that they put out there.
And the most famous one too.
The most famous, yeah. And she looks very angelic. Well, if you line it up to other pictures of her, they actually flipped the image.
I did hear that.
Which makes her mole on the other side.
Which is where Katie's is.
And the explanation...
Or should I say Jonbenet's?
Mm-hmm. The explanation is that since Katy Perry is a big person right now, and this was a recent printing, they didn't want people to catch on to the fact that they had matching moles. So they flipped the image.
But can we talk about the dead giveaway?
Tell me.
They have the same eyebrows.
Oh, I know. And, like, nobody can... I mean, eyebrows are, like... You know, they're like snowflakes. They can't change.
Just like your fingerprint. Nobody else
Yeah,
has
they're
the
exactly
same
the same
kind.
as fingerprint. I mean, eyebrow trends don't change or anything. Never. And like people don't do like micro threading, and like people don't get tattoos on their eyebrows to change the way they look. They do, by the way. That's a thing.
Yeah, my mom has her the eyelids tattooed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has like permanent mascara. Is that no? I don't. What?
No,
is that mascara?
eyeliner.
There we go.
I know someone who has tattooed eyebrows, but I won't name names.
Here's
Anyways.
looking at you.
I promised we're not going to go there. Okay. So I want to talk about the age thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So what is? Tell me. Please.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the explanation for the age difference, because there is an age difference.
Did they like freeze her for 6 years?
Well, okay, no. Okay, so Katy Perry is older than Jonbenet. I think Katy Perry was born in 86. Jonbenet was born in 1990.
No, 84.
84. Okay.
Yeah, she would have been 12 when Jonbenet was murdered.
Well, that's funny you said that, because an FBI agent, his name is Ron Walker, gave an interview where he said that he saw Jonbenet Ramsey's body and he did not believe that people were saying that she was 6. He said that she definitely looked like she was 13 or 14.
I mean, with all that makeup.
Which would make her very close to Katy Perry's age. He's saying that people are lying about Jonbenet's age when she died. Don't give me that look. This is paranoid disposition.
Flabbergasted right now. Absolutely flabbergasted.
Yeah. I'm not expecting to change her mind. I'm just telling you, well, I'm saying facts very loosely. I'm telling you the facts of the internet.
Good old internet where everything is true.
Yeah, everything's true. So, yeah. So, and another reason people believe this is that a lot of people see holes in this story, the original story, like the real story, that the parents tell. And
you mean her fake parents?
Yeah, her fake parents. And the explanation for that is that all of these holes are because it was faked, like because the whole thing's fake. It's not because the parents did it. It's because Jonbenet didn't die.
I just don't understand why they would even fake that. Like, why couldn't Jonbenet just go and live a full life and then become a pop star? Like, why?
Because
why does she have to die?
She had to
reborn?
make a sacrifice.
God damn it.
For the Illuminati. Come on. So, like, speaking of the parents, some people... He's doing the Jay-Z Illuminati sign, by the way.
We'll get to that in
another
episode.
So, some people believe that the parents that played Jonbenet... the actors that played Jonbenet's parents on television...
Crisis actors.
...were actors. And that explained why the mom did not look legitimately upset. Like...
Those weren't real tears.
Those weren't real...
Tears.
Exactly. They were stage tears. But another explanation that I saw is that those were her real parents, that they weren't crying because she wasn't really dead, and that they just had plastic surgery and are the same people that are Katy Perry's, like, public parents. Like, they're the same people.
Yeah, the dad just
The dad shaved his head. He got a nose job. Yeah. Which, by the way, the mother died of cancer.
No, she didn't. She never died.
You're right.
Never happened.
The mother did die of cancer, but, side note.
She was never really Miss West Virginia in 1977 either.
She was Miss West Virginia.
Lies.
Alex is inaccurate.
Katy Perry's Jonbenet. I'm sold.
I think he's believing this. I think we're spending too much time on this. He's starting to buy into it.
I'm going to be a different person by the end of this episode.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I'm Katy Perry.
Oh, God. I'm a Taylor Swift fan, so I think you need to leave. We can't be friends anymore.
What, do we have bad blood? Oh,
so one thing about the strangulation? So one this is kind of weird. It doesn't really make sense. I tried to make sense of it, but I couldn't. So it's basically the reason that she was fake strangled, basically, is because in Judaism, okay.
It's still happening to over 50,000 of us.
What is still happening to over 50?
I did not mute my computer. I apologize. I have a pop-up. Okay, so in Judaism, strangled meat is considered unclean. So, that matters in this. Right, Alex?
Totally.
Yeah, so that's the explanation for why she was fake strangled. I mean, doesn't it just all make sense now? Because they were
everything
not
is connected,
Jewish.
Beth.
Yeah, I know. Everything. One other side note is that one of the videos I watched, the guy was very passionate about the fact that if you say that Jonbenet was killed, then you are a liar and you are a false witness to death. And you're basically an asshole. So don't you dare say that this girl that was violently killed by her parents was killed, because that's offensive.
Yeah, because she was never killed.
Yeah. So it's offensive to say that she was and try to solve her murder.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah. So the real moral of the story is this guy's an asshole. That's really what I've come to.
But can we talk about the smoking gun?
Tell me.
So, in Katy Perry's autobiography, she wrote,
Oh, God.
"Not that I was one of those stage kids. There was no Jonbenet Ramsey inside of me waiting to burst out."
Then obviously she's telling us that she's Jonbenet Ramsey.
I mean, rebirth. Phoenix rises.
So, that was her little hint. Okay, so one thing that I really took delight in is that there is a theory that the whole Katy Perry, Jonbenet Ramsey plot was created by the government to discredit conspiracy theorists.
Muddy the waters a little bit.
Exactly. And that you're supposed to read this and be like, what? That's ridiculous. And it's supposed to make you think all conspiracy theories are ridiculous. And there's also this conspiracy theorist thinks that the term conspiracy theorist was made up by the government because it sounds dumb.
Because there haven't been conspiracy theories since, the start of human civilization.
No. The government's behind this. Illuminati. Put your hands up.
If
yes.
only you all can see us right now.
We both are doing the Jay-Z Illuminati sign in the air. So do you have anything else you'd like to add, Alex?
Well, along with the conspiracy theory about Katy Perry, can we talk about how when Katy Perry first rose to fame, there were parallels between her actually being Zooey Deschanel?
What?
Because they look alike.
They don't look alike.
So could Jonbenet Ramsey be
inaccurate?
Zooey Deschanel?
What? So, okay.
No, okay. So,
yeah, tell me.
Go onto your internet machine.
My internet machine?
Okay, your computer, whatever.
Okay, I have my internet machine all up.
Type in Katy Perry Zooey Deschanel. And everybody at home do this as well.
Okay.
Or if you're driving, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do this if you're driving, please.
Unless you have a death wish.
And we will post one of these images on our Instagram so you all can see.
And our Facebook page.
Okay, I have it up.
Do you see it?
They both have dark hair and bangs.
Exactly.
Okay, they do
Same
have
person.
pretty similar eyes.
Exactly.
But their face shape is very different. And also, how could they be the same person? They're both living. They're both doing stuff.
Life model decoy.
If Zooey Deschanel had, disappeared, then maybe Zooey Deschanel got some face work done, became Katy Perry. But since they're both existing at the same time, that doesn't make sense. Do you like how I'm rationalizing this, by the way?
That's why you're the Scully to my Mulder.
Aww.
But yeah, I feel like that kind of wraps up the whole entire Katy Perry is really Jonbenet Ramsey case.
So I think that we've debunked that theory because it doesn't make any sense.
Dumbest shit ever.
And in all seriousness, it is very offensive because you are taking away from the fact that a little girl was killed, and you're making a joke out of a serious situation. not to get too heavy. I just want to
Way
say.
to kill the mood, Beth.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I just, that's why I'm Scully.
And I'm Mulder. Scully!
Mulder! Did you just smell your arm?
Yeah, because I went to...
You don't want to say it, do you?
So last night, I was invited
Tell
to a
us about
sex
it.
toy party.
And when I got here earlier, he was like, smell my arm. It has pheromones on it.
Yeah, they put pheromones on my arm, and it smells really good.
And I made fun of him.
And I made fun of myself as well.
Yeah.
Because I am a terrible person.
So now that I've adequately embarrassed Alex, he's crying in the corner.
I think is my face red? I feel like my face is
Your face
red.
is definitely red.
Why am I embarrassed?
It is 100% red.
Alrighty, well, I think that is it for our very first
Episode 1, we did it. Woohoo! High five. I hope you heard that.
Yeah, I hope you all heard that.
Yeah, well.
Well, anyway, we will be back next week when we dive into some MK Ultra.
Some MK Ultra? I mean, don't say it too loudly. You don't want them to hear us. MK Ultra?
They're on to us.
They are.
Well, anyway, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ is it /
Paranoid Disposition.
Yeah.
Just search Paranoid Disposition on Facebook, and you will find it. We're also on Instagram, and I mean, there'll be links to our Instagram on Facebook, and then follow us on Twitter at Paranoid Dispo.
Yeah, Dispo, because there were too many characters in our title.
They're cramping our style, man.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, assholes. So, yeah, follow us and keep an open mind.
But don't believe the dumb shit. What, was that not our outro?
No, it's keep an open mind, but don't be an idiot.
Oh. Well.
We'll work on that. We'll get better.
Anyway, that's it for us. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.